And with page Mem Aleph, middle of page Mem Aleph. So we spoke about two madrigas and kala. Two madrigas and kala, which is the two madrigas and Mesilas Nefesh. One is we call bitl Mtzias and bitl Ayesh. And now we show Masras Achizas Ayeshes. And it also tells two madrigas Ava, and Ava Zut. So he says, base Prinas Kala Hanal, these two madrigas and kala we just spoke about, aim base Prinas Sheshana. It's also two levels in what it's called Shirashirim Sheshana. Shana is called a rose, a lily. It's a type of flower, but in Shirashirim there are two types of Sheshana. Sheshana Samakim and Sheshana Bein Achoichim. That's what that's how the in Shirashirim the two twice. The concept of Shoshana is mentioned twice. Shoshana Samakim, the lily of the valley. Shoshana Benachach means the lily among the
thorns.
What?
Thorns.
The Shoshana Samakim Umelosh Umalchus. Mimamakim Tzichavaya. Not Malchus. Umelosh Mimamakim Tzichavaya. So Shoshana Samakim is the higher level of Kala. The first Kala, which is Ma'amakim, Zosicha, Oimek Havaya, Emes Havaya, Shoshama, Pnes De'elene, the Chudei Lo, Kolokamei Kalechshiv. That's the Madrig of Bitl B'Mitzias. The Chudei Lo, Kolokamei Kalechshiv. Everything is insignificant. Ma'ayno B'Shem Havaya, Shalom Ma'ayno B'Shem Elikim. There's the Madrig of Shem Havaya, which is above Shem Elikim. Dine Haos Havaya, Shem Elikim, in Bitla Yeshtanal. ובהם בזה שם אליקים, אבל עמק הוויה, או הם בזה שם הוויה, לפרס הוויה אחד. זהו ששנה זה המקים, ששם מושג הם בזה שם הוויה. So he brings a new terminology here, that there's a vaya shebeshem elikim. Before he used a lot of shyness, now he brings in a new, there's mem socha, mem stuma, to madrigas and kala, to madrigas and ava. Now he says there's different havaya, amulubash b'shem elikim, and havaya shlomayla b'shem elikim. Savaya Shabashem Elikim, that is Bitlayesh. That's the Shoshana Bein Acheichim, between the thorns, Mashenkin. Shoshana Makim, that is Oimek the Shem Havaya. Wupnas Bina Shinte Lo. So again, it's also the difference between Bina and Malchus. That's Shinte To, Shinte Lo. Yes, a Kala base. It's also now the lower level of Kala. זה אני כשושנה בין החיים. השנים שמבחינת שכינתי לא, מבחינת שכינתי תתו, זה המשוך, שכינתי לא, שכינתי תתו, פום, ההוויה של המיילו, נמי, עומק הוויה, אמס הוויה, ודעת נמשך שכינתי תתו, אז גם מבחינת שכינתי תתו, והיא מבחינת המלכוס, ובנשמה, מבחינת ניצן שם לא בגוף, דעת מדרגת בנשמה לא בגוף, מבחינת כל השאלה לבוא, לא ינהיה שמחל כל הרצונס הזורס. So he brings in like a third way of understanding. There's Yichudei Lo, Yichudei Tato, and then the way Yichudei Lo is mashpia on Yichudei Tato. That in the Madrega where a person be'etzem is the neshama is in a state of neshama labeshas beguf, like we explained earlier, that's the part of neshama which is affected by the body. So the chayur that madrega is only bitla yesh, but then that hamshach of the shchinte lo and the shchinte tato, hamshach of the etzem nefesh and the nitzat nefesh, that is kol she'el avavit. It's pile even in the nitzat nefesh, the higher level of bittul. It's not only the tzenes azoris in a way that lo yirtze bitlayesh, but machal, it destroys them, takes them over. So this madrega, this gilui of that level of bittul, of of the Mem Stuma, or all the other names he called it, Mem Stuma and Kala, Kala, Shoshanas Hamakim.
And this Yichud Olidort, the effect of Yichud Olidort before the Yichud Tato also, correct?
Exactly, yeah. The Yichud Olidort affects Yichud Tato. When does that happen? That happens on Shanim Kippur. Because Kia.
What does that mean that the Hamshoche? Yichud Tato cannot be without the Hamshoche from Yichud Olidort, no?
No, Yichud Tato is its own. Yichud Tato is another way. Yichud Tato means Yichud Tato. Yichud Tato is the understanding of Bitla Yesh. That he understands that there is a Metzius. So the Metzius is bottled. Metzius is totally in the Eibush, but he feels still the Metzius. Yichud Olidort means Eined Milvad. That's interesting. The Hamshach of Yichud Olidort and Yichud Tato means it's in the place of Yichud Tato. Is Metzius Yesh. In that place, go for he feels the Yichud Olidort of Eined Milvad.
So this is like a third Indian?
Yeah, third Indian. Actually, if you know, in that's what it says in a lot of places. That's the Indian of Yichud Olidort v'Yichud Tato. It's called even in the world of Yichud Tato, there's also Yichud Olidort, which is its own. It's a different. It's a third way of relating. That happens according.
So what happened when there is the Hamshocha? Yichud Tato is becoming like Yichud Olidort?
Yeah, within the level of Yichud Tato, you have Yichud Olidort, which means, which is like, again, it's like it's nice afochim, it's a paradox. Because in the world of Yichud Tato, it's supposed to feel yeshus. See, within the Agoshas yeshus, you still feel the Yichud Olidort. It's a special thing. It's not normal. It's not the standard gradual way of things.
So who is getting it?
Depends when. So he says on Rosh Hashanah Kippur, every Eid gets a certain koyach melamara to reach that point. Who is good? That's. I mean, he spoke. Usually says that that's going to be lost in love, but I mean, a certain part of it is also now.
He said, "V'hi b'chinas hamalchus."
Ubeneshama. That's the malchus. It's nimshach malchus. Ubeneshama. Just an nitzan neshama levash leguf. The nitzan neshama levash leguf. That's the Yichud Tato in that neshama. That madrei guf is in b'chinas kol she'elov. In the neshama levash leguf, you have the hamshach of Yichud Olidort, which is mechalek all the tzenis hazoros. Not only are the tzenis hazoros, not only what's the lashon before, she lo yirtze b'dvorim chomrim. It's more than lo yirtze. Mechalek, they disappear. They disintegrate. That's the bittul b'metzius. That's that level of bittul.
It sounds like without this Hamshocha, the Yichud Tato, there is no B'chal Kol HaRasein Zoris. Yichud Tato itself is, he said.
It said earlier, if you look earlier on this page, when he spoke about Yichud Tato, he said, שהמזבוין המקד מעמיק דייטה בזה שעין המהווה לא ירצה כלל בדברים החומרים, בגשמיס, והכל חייב תרצה לבליכוס. But לא ירצה is not the same thing as מחל. לא ירצה means אל צחיים. He holds himself in from doing it. Doesn't want it. But lechalis is a deeper level. Lechalis means that he destroys it. It's baknim. That's the difference generally between bitla yesh and bitla metzius. Bitla yesh means he's there, but he holds himself in. He contains himself. Contains the science. It's like, generally speaking, that between a beinani and a tzaddik. Beinani, like it says in Tanya. What's a beinani? He has the ratzon hazor, but he doesn't act on it. Mashengen tzaddik is and it's not the tzaddik that's like the Yehudei law that there's no doesn't even want anything.
But does it,
So
does
who
it
is that?
say,
Who is
sorry, go ahead.
What?
Shlomo, go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
So thank you. Who
Yeah.
is the Shocher? We have the tzaddik Yehudei law, Ben Yehudei Torah.
Yeah.
Shocher sounds like a new thing. Mechala kol ha'atzei zoris.
Yeah, so that's another thing that even the Beinani, it's like I mean I'm using a lot the language of tzaddik and Beinani because that's the tiny of these days. Also, it's easier to relate to that. It's like saying that the Beinani was really while he's not a tzaddik yet. His level of bittul is machala. It's like it says like again like it says in Tanya during davening he overcomes that he doesn't want. He doesn't machala tzenis azor. So there's a certain amshacha of the tzaddik shaboy. It's just a way to it's an example of what it means that נמשך לשכין תלתו, במילא זה גם נצליץ על שם לא בצ'ת בגוף, מבחינת כל השאר לבוא. Sorry, Danny, what did you want to say?
So it doesn't say really why the third level has this effect of mechale et hazoros.
Why? That's the point, because it's Yehudei law is nimshach l'tato, so the Yehudei tato has the same nature of Yehudei law. Yehudei law is machal. Yehudei law means eined milvad, bittul b'mitzias. Now, when you're in the world of Yehudei tato and you have amshach of Yehudei law, which means that you get an inspiration from a higher state of mode of relating to likus, a higher state of being, so it affects you that it's machala. That's exactly what he's saying here. That this is why we see that Hashanah Yom Kippur people are inspired to reach much higher levels of spirituality, of Chassidishkeit, Shemayim, all other things. The reason is because Hashanah Yom Kippur, that's the time when the higher level of Yehudei law it's effective. Because of Zera Kia, so there's a sefer Zera Kia by I think Tzemach, one of the Kobolim, one of the Talmidei Arizal, בהקדומת הזויה, he says pshat in הקדומת הזויה, לגבי אלס אייס מם, in הקדומת הזויה, it says the word אלס אייס מם, the אייס מם ascended, זה לשיינה. So there, over there, that's the lashon of the Zera Kia. It's a long, it's a few lines. Ine goza chochmas amaitzel elien, the Ebershtas chochma of Hashem goza, decreed list Ezes man laoras bina b'malchus. There should be a specific time when bina is mer in malchus. Barosh Hashanah v'Yom Kippur. That happens on Kippur. Oz Niko Melech. Ilo yoylam nivo ba'is yaseiler. But then it talks about Ismem, which is a higher level of Gil. What? Ilo yoylam nivo ba'is yaseiler. If the world would have been created l'chatchila with this say kol anivay melekas malachim. Then we only one of the Melegas Malachim, which the way we're gonna explain the way according to our understanding means we've always been a state of Yehudei law. So that's why the Eibishter decreed that the creation of the world itself would not be from that high madrig of Bina. Why? Because then Bina we always been a state of Yehudei law. ולא יסגל האור זה כי אם לעיתים ידועים בהשנה ויום כיפור, עד כאן לשם. So we see even as a Kia that that's what happens on Hashanah Yom Kippur is the Gili of Bina and in a way that Melach. לכן בראש השנה יום כיפור אנו אומרים המלך הקודש, המלך המשפט, קהל מלך. What's קהל מלך? Do you remember what is Kel Melech? I'm not sure this is. No, Vinam okay. So we talk about the Eibishter in the
I'm sorry. These Isis are like the end the safe Isis. What are these Isis?
The Isis Seila means. I mean, you have to look in the Zohar there. Isis Mem.
Oh.
The Aya Isis. The Isis Mem is Bina. I mean,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just different Isis.
It says Gabe Alas Isis Mem. It talks about the Zohar talks about how all the Isis of the Aleph base they participated in creation. It says the Isis Mem, which is Bina, that was Mizgala only Oshanim Kippur.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Anybody knows what Kel Melech is? Unless it means Kel Melech Yesh Al Kisarachmi, which we say it's Lichus. I don't know. Avinu Malkein.
But Kel Melech Yeshua Kisarachmi is different thing, no? It's from the Tachanun.
Yeah, but that's not Rosh Hashanah. That's what
No.
we say every day.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what does it mean? Maybe in Slichas we say it more. All right. כי בראש נראים קיפר מסגל העיר הבינה במלכוס, אשר על זה מהר הספשטס ACSA. It says ACSA, I guess that is mem. Al-Koponim. Okay, so we finished, if you pay attention to what's just the Hemshach Inyanim, we just now finished what we started saying in the bottom of page number test. Bottom of page, again, keep in mind the Hemshach Inyanim. The whole post, the Maimah started Shilach, right? And Shilach, he said Shilach is Melosha Shiluach, and he brought the post in Shirah Shirim, Shlachayich Pardes Rimoyim. And he said the pasuk before said, "Gan no lachaysi kalo." If you look in the page that bottom page number test, pasuk before somebody said, "Gan no lachaysi kalo, gan no lachaysim," but kol Rosh Hashanah v'Yom Kippur. So gan no lachaysim is Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur nasa chaysim las mach nekamayim chaysim, and he started talking about the mem psuch and mem stum. So the whole from bottom page some test till here, he was explaining why Rosh Hashanah Kippur is connected to Mem Stuma. It says Mayan Chosim, which is Mem Stuma. Why? Because we just explained that Mem Stuma, the law of the Kala, of the higher level of Kala, Shoshana Samakim, of the Echudei law between Tzias. So all this happens, that is the Beis Galus, Rosh Hashanah Kippur. So that is the Remes in the Pasuk. That's why the Pasuk Gan no lachaysi kala. Gal no mein chosum. Chosum means that's mein chosum is like a mem stuma. It's hidden. It's closed. Not hidden. Closed. Closed. Sealed. That's how you explain the Pasuk. Now that's how we finished explaining what the cash of mein chosum to Rosh Hashanah Kippur. Now he says, Ubepotius in a Gan no the Rosh Hashanah. Gan no my Chosim the Rosh Kippur. So the two parts in the pasuk. Again, remember the pasuk says Gan no lachaysi kala. My sister, the bride, is a seal, the closed gan. How do you translate gan? And then gal no mein chos. What is so gal no means Rosh Hashanah, and gal no mein chosam that's Yom Kippur. It's chosam. It's the chosam gemazet of the Yom Kippur. The chsim is Yom Kippur, like Minhag Chabad. We say chosmeinu. We say only Yom Kippur because it says in Kabbalah that the chsim is Yom Kippur. Actually, the Gemara says nechtamin be Yom Kippur. So that is going to explain this a little more. The Gan no Pirush B'Zoya Shmois Davdad. The Zoya says that Gan no Zeu Pinas Amalkus. The locked Gan, that is Malchus. Rosh Hashanah begin Malchus. What happens Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah is the time that says Al Pi Kabbalah, Binyan Malchus. We build the Malchus, which means we the Shetam Lechuni Aleich. we evoke the Ebershter's Malchus. So that's the Indian of Malchus connected to Rosh Hashanah. That's Galno. Galno, what does Galno mean? That applies to the not to Malchus, but to Bina, the Madrig of Bina. Aim, the Isasham. Almed the Ossi Ika Galim. The Olam Haba is called Galim. Galim means waves. Kat Ksiv. Gal no. That's what the Zohar says of it. Gal no. All these galim, the waves, and mabuin means the springs. Kula nafka me'almados. This madrigas come from Elam Haba, and Elam Haba is bin. Vainu, and he explains it. Gal umayan anegeya. Gal means, so gal. Gal means that in the regular language, gal means a wave of the waves of water, but it means really mayan and anegeya. It's a spring that comes forth. That pasuk
by Achso Baskolev.
Yeah. So what does it say that? What does Gulas Mayim mean? Like
As she asked him that you gave me Eretz Yiveshov and Sato Li Gulos Moim.
so Gulas Mayim means basically like a lot of water, cups of water.
Mayan and Ivea.
Gulas means Mayan. Yeah. Oh, that's an Yeshua. Oh.
Shaftim, I think.
I'm looking at the Yeshua. Oh, wait a minute. Gulas Mayim is really, according to what it says here, Gulas Mayim is the name of a place. Let's see what Rashi says. Let's see. But time it not only the Eretz and Egel Nesatani, Nesata Legulis Mayim. Oh, he wanted basically, he gave her Eretz and Negev, which is a dry land. So Rashi attached Gulis Mayonis. Mayonis. He says, you gave me Eretz and Negev, which is a dry land. Nesata Legulis Mayim. Give me a mayonis. Rashi says, gulas type Rashi mayonis. Va'itan los gulas silias, gulas tachtias. So he gave her these locations that have water. And look at that. Mitzudas Tzion says, gulas mayon, k'moy galno. Why is a Mayan called gulis? Gulis means something it's like a gilgal, something that turns, because the water in the spring turns. That's why it's called gulis. So remember, gulis Mayan means Rashi says Mayan.
What do you mean turn? The water is turn. What does it mean? What does it mean the water is turning?
That's what Rashi says.
It's moving, no? The fact that it's moving.
The water is turning, the water. I'm not sure. As I steht mit das Ziel. Shem Sibuva Vigul. Before.
Maybe Hanoiveya, that means it's going the Toikev, so it's not Mayim Shketim, but it's Nevio, which is constantly.
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah. Right. So who? I forgot. Kolev gave to Snil Ben Knas Oh, it's just Kiryas Sefer. There's a place called Kiryas Sefer, and he gave him achsa. But she asked for a place to go. She says, Negev is dry. I want you to give me a place with this water. Interesting story. Holy from the Galilean Gal is a Maya. So you see clearly that Gulis Mayim is Mayonis Mayim. So Gal means Mayim. V'hine Bina Liba. Bina, we say in Pasach Eliyah, Bina Liba. The Bina is the heart. What is the heart? Heart is Pnimis Alev. Pnimis Alev, Mayna Negeveya. Pnimis Alev is in a state of a Mayna Negeveya, a spring that's constantly flowing. Just like a spring of water, it's constantly flowing from its ultimate hidden source. So Bina, that's what you said earlier, but Bina, the Bina is the Mesilas Nefesh. He's going to say it in a minute. So Pnimis Alev is dveikas a nefesh b'shal shel knesat shel sof shel mana mislachtos v'yomis. K'moi she'oi saklula b'yicheres b'terem eridos. So Pnimis Alev means to keep that within the Pnimis Alev there's the flow of that aspect of the neshama, the way it's kodim eridos, and neshama the way it's kol in elikus in the Eibishter. So that's why it's called Mayim. You know.
So this is the Udo law, or this is
Yeah. But he's gonna talk about it later. The b'derech klal is pnimis halev. Gam abom ches hameichen, ches hameichen di b'lekus shel ma'ala ma'alos. Pnimis halev, the connection of pnimis halev of the neshama to the Eibishter, so that madrega of lekus, which is the ma'ala ma'alos. Kanal b'inyan kala ilo. Kras kol asher levavi, that madrega of kala ilo, which is bittul b'mtzias echad ilo, שזיין נמסה נפשה באחד, והעין כמו שהאל מצפתני ממציאס, שזהו מצד אינסוף של המים פרס מהקלוימס. Such a beetle, the beetle derives from that madrega nelikus, which is above oil, it's beetle b'mtzias, it's non-existent, it's above oils. וכידוע מבוא כמקמח, ועניין הוא, what is עניין שעל ידי זה נכלו מצאחת בייחוד יסבורך. So I'm not sure what. In other words, you're consumed and united with the Yechudis, but the Eibishter's unity in a way which is above anything. Ein ed milvad. Chein b'chol p'chines p'nis hameichel ma'amid שזה בעצם אין הליקיש למעלה פ'nis lapshus. זה רק פ'nis פשטוס, דיינה פ'nis החיצייניס. This lapshus, הליkus in the Elamais is pashtus, eine hitzeinis. It's only external. It's only the extension. Hashenk in the Pnimius is the Mala Mislapis. Omnom, so in that Gufi goes deep. Omnom Ika Prince Pnimius, the ultimate Pnimius Alev is B'chres Nekudas Alev. Which is in the Nekudas Alev, Sheshom Mishchem Pres Makifin Shabanefesh. The Nekudas Alev, that is the dwelling place of the Makifin Shav Nefesh, the higher level of the Nefesh. V'ayim Mashakos Makamacha, the Bina B'chol Meidecha, Ninas Bina, Kayodua, the Pnimi Shav Nefesh, Shain Kos HaMeichin, Gamadek Analysis of B'Meich Shvaroich. So Makifin of Belev is Nekudas Alev. Okay, now he brings in another point. So all along we spoke about, that's what he said, Omnam, that it says Omnam. So Pnimius means internal, something that's internalized. Moyach in general, Bina also, it's internalized. Internalized means something that we can digest. It's within us, it's in the Pnimius, the guy. Which means in a way it doesn't contradict us. We can capture it. So that's Moichin. That's what Moichin means. Moichin means I understand it. It fits me. It sits well with me. Makifin means something which is above my ability to digest, relate to, something which is above the koyach. That's makif. So he says that the kudas alev of bina is higher than meichenig. Bina means meichen. Bina is understanding, but the pnimius, the nekuda, is even higher than meichen. That's makif. That's what it says now. The pnimius benefesh, meichen kamadek sometimes also meich shebeish. Pnimi is meich. That's makif in the level is the kudas alev. Lachein ikel amidas mishkanan belev. The amidas better most of the really, it introduces another point, which also says another place, that really midas, the emotions, in a way, express a higher level of the nefesh than the meichin, which is rotzen. Rotzen means pure drive and interest, which is above meichin. Meichin means something that I can relate to, like I said. Meichin means something I digest, I understand, it's relatable. But Midas has an aspect to it which is connected to Rotzen, which is above. The mile mitam the mile above my ability to relate to. It's an inner drive which is above any limitation.
That's a gut feeling that you can say. Maybe you can say.
Yeah, okay, okay. So you do, but then it says the mod, but the Vigil in the good. So okay, so again, so it says it's not just Pnimius Bina, it's higher than that. Pnimius Alev, which is really the essence, like okay, called the gut feeling. The Gidul, the Vigil, Pnimius Alev, is Madrigas, and that go for in that Gil of Nikudas Alev, which is the Maki, that go for the two Madrigas, the two stages are that's related. Gil Haos Nikudas Alev, Gil Atzmus Nikudas Alev. So that goof has two stages. There's the of that feeling and the essence of that feeling. Because the Torah Pasha states, Daki states, Abeis Babirsham. Because the Torah, he explains these two levels of Gili, Aoras, of Atzmut, Shehein, Amakif, and Lamed Mem, B'Tselem. So it says in Pasuk, B'Tselem Lekim Asa Sodom. So in Kabbalah, there's a whole, in Netzchaim, there's all Sharat Tselem. There's a whole gate describing what is Tselem. Tselem Elikim. Tselem means the form, but obviously, talking about Tselem Elikim, it's a high madrega. So in Kabbalah, there's a whole arichas about the Tselem. Each of the three letters, Tzadik, Lamed, Mem, represent certain, it's three stages actually, three madregas. So forget about it. The Lamed and Mem of Tselem, the Tzadik is even higher, but the Lamed and Mem represent Makiv the Chai and Makiv the Yechida. But that's how I have to explain it with the Torah. Makiv the Chai, so again, but we call in our mind, Gile Ha'oras Nekodas Alev, Gile Atzmos Nekodas Alev. What does it say further? She'em P'chinas Makif, okay, Makiv the Chai, Makiv the Yechida. That's language, that's more language that Chassidus is uses, which is Chaya and Yechida. The Lamed and the Mem is Chaya and Yechida, which is the Makiv Akor, Makiv Aroch. Makiv the Chaya, who sheyesh la'achiza daim pnimis. It's a type of level of Makiv, which is like Gil Ha'os, Nekodas Alev, yesh la'achiza. Has some kind of grasp in pnimis that you can stack a Makiv, but pnimis has some kind of connection to it. Makiv the Yechida, who she'em le'zachiza pnimis klal. Of course, Makamach. You can see. He's speaking already about such a high level of connection to Likus, and that group is split into two. There's the level of Chai and Yechida, which is the Makif Akol and Makif Aroch. Yeshli, Achizan, and Achizan. So now is according to this understanding, now we go back to Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. So what he's going to say is that these two, Rodriguez and Makif, I think that's what he says. That's that's Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Gil Ha'oras Nekodas Alev, which the Ha'oras Sabina Shekudas Hashemir Malchus Rosh Hashanah. The first madrega, what he calls the Makiv, the Chaya, the Lamed, and what other names do we give it? The point Gil Ha'oras Nekodas Alev, that happens Rosh Hashanah. Zeh in Ganno. So the Ganol of Rosh Hashanah, that's the Ha'oras Nekudas Alev, which happens Rosh Hashanah. That's Ganol. Kippur Shalias Hamacha Shayla Maila Bebina Mame Shaloy Dezo. It brings in another point that says in Kabbalah, we say Havaya Ho Elikim. We say Havaya Elikim in the Safim Kippur. That means that Machas Island is in a higher level than Zo. B'meile, as the Galno, who Gilipes Atzim Snakul Saler. So that's the difference of Shana and Kippur. The one is Gila Ha'os Snakul Saler, one is Gila Atzim Snakul Saler.
But this is
what?
How?
I think the but okay, it doesn't. I think the but Madrigas in Yichudei Lo Guf. One is what are Yichudei Lo? What are in a state of if I understand correctly. The but in that madriga of echad of isachdus, but in that guf we have two levels, two madrigas. The tshuva.
Both of them are Yechudei Lo.
I think so, if I understand correctly. Zel the tshuva dim kippur shema'apach hashech ha'na'ira hol as a gil as atzim kus halev shal nepach mahus nef shabamis shkos al kuteterishu. So what's the difference? It says when in the Keter in Kisei says when there's the gila of the atoms that are Salev, it's not only overpowering the Nefesh Habamis, but it transforms the Nefesh Habamis. It's a higher level of transforming the Nefesh Habamis. So we finished one point. The Inay then it introduces another source to explain this Gal No. In the Bezoya Bereishis Daf Lamed Beis Lamed Beis Issa Gal No the Hahu No Nogid V'Nofat, that the river flows and comes out V'Ayel Bei V'Kolu V'Loi Afik V'Kal Shemai. That Gal No means that the river gets there and the water freezes. The kaima. My timer begins. But why is that? Let's read the Zohar and understand pshat later. Like we spoke a lot of times, the Zohar uses this language, describes some very like gashmistic descriptions, which really represent a certain high madrigas in the Ruch. So what is happening here? There's a river that flows, and it reaches a certain point, and it freezes. By time I begin the Ruach Tzofin, Noshe B'Inan Maya, because there's the Ruach Tzofin. The Ruach Tzofin, the western wind blows so strongly with Skerisha. Loi Nafka Lebab. Ad the Savet Kerach. I guess the stages in freezing. Freezes until it turns into ice. The Ilam Mola Sito the Dom, the Akish Takfe, the Kerach, Len Nafka Mailau. If not for the southern Sito. Not in other words, the north, again, north and south is the cold comes from the north, that we know in our personal experience. The north is cold and the south is hot. So the wind, the northern wind hits the water and turns into ice. So it doesn't flow. In order for the water to flow, we need the seat of the dome, the opposite, the southern, the Akish Takfe, the Ikerach, that Yilmol seat of the dome, the Akish Takfe, the Ikerach, if not for the south, which breaks the strength of that ice, the water would never reach this wall. So we have like a shtickle description of a river, right? For a river that's frozen, and there's a frozen as a result of the northern wind, which is very cold, Then there is from the south, the heat comes from the south and melts it. That allows the water to flow. That's the lashon of the Zohar. What's main this point? What is going on? So he says, "Kosa makam sham shemas sefer ogos abaysim." So the makam, the Mikdash Melech, brings from the sefer ogos abaysim, which is a Kabbalah sefer from the Olim Kabbalim. Inyan hakerach or Allah's man shenasa b'chinas kerach. The kerach represents here really the Allah's man. Allah's man means that the Allah's man means that we are oiled. We want to run away from our reality, right? That's a b'chinas kerach. That's kerach. Hakach adam shachas mat sheb'chinas chesed sichel the dom oz hakerach nasa mayim. So Allah's man is.
Why is it kerach?
Kerach means the concept. Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting. It's not a standard way we understand things. Kerach because kerach in this case means that it's a blockage. Kerach means you stop the flow, right? When you have water flowing, let's say there's water flowing in a river, and if it turns into ice, it stops flowing. So the Allah's man means that you don't want people it should flow down. You want to go up. You want to stop. You want to go up. So that represents a concept of kerach somehow, because it stops the flow down. It wants to run away. The Allah's man means that this halal. You want to run away. We want to run away from our reality. We don't want that the reality should flow into us. We want to run away. That's the concept of stopping the flow. I think that's why it's called kerach. Mayim duchin means
Why is the Allah's man kerach? Not so b'chinas kerach.
Okay, so now, again, what is we have to just understand what is Allah's man the way he understands it here. Allah's man nukun is the female, the makabel. But the makabel says, I don't want to stay in my own place. I want to halal. I want to get out of my place and I want to go up. So it means I want to stop the flow. Stop the flow. That's kerach. Kerach means it freezes. It doesn't come down. I'm going up. In other words, man and mad, ma'im nuk, ma'im tchuri means which the English translation is the feminine water, masculine water, which basically means the Allah's man means getting out of your comfort zone, go up. You don't want things should flow down. You want to go up. So that can also be called kerach, because kerach means you freeze the flow down. That's why Allah's man is connected to kerach. Like I said, it's not a standard way to explain it, but this is what he says here. According to the makam b'shem ha'ogos habayis. B'shenken, he says the Allah amshachas mad ma'im tchulim, which is the amshacha milamayla, the misita the dorim. One thing I forgot before, that soften and dorim is also yemin and smile, chesed and gvura. Soften is gvura, and dorim is chesed. Like we say in Pasuk, soften v'yomin. Because when it says, when we imagine Shchinta b'mayra, kaviyachu, so when the Shechina is b'mayra, and he faces Mizrach, so to the right is Dorim, and to the left is Tzofen. The Tzofen is the Gvura, is the withholding. So that's Allah's man. When Amshachas mad, which is the Chesed, that is the opposite. That unfreezes the water and makes the water flow. Okay, so it's another way to explain this entire process. Okay, but in the middle of a sentence. So okay, we'll revisit tomorrow this discussion. Okay.
Very fascinating.